Hey, happy day. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here, also known as Pajama Grandma. If you can't see me, I am in my pajamas around the podcast, and I'm wearing glasses in the bow tie frame, or, I don't know, filter, because I just am feeling thoughtful. And I woke up this morning thinking, and sometimes, I don't know about you, but I wake up with this whole stream of limiting beliefs and nonsense and negativity and crap going through my brain. And it wasn't even about me. It was about someone I love and care about, but it was just a stream of consciousness that wasn't even, it's not even mine. It's like that when you think of something and you're thinking about drama or a situation, and you ask yourself, who does this belong to? It doesn't even belong to me, so why am I spending my time and energy thinking about it? And so I learned a strategy a long time ago. I believe it was probably from Tony Robbins. I'm talking decades ago. That is, and maybe it wasn't Tony Robbins. Probably not. I don't remember. But it was from somebody super smart, smarter than me, especially at the time, that said, when you catch yourself thinking of things that don't matter, you don't want to think about, things that you don't want, just say stop, cancel. And so I actually was laying in bed and I thought, stop, cancel. This isn't my situation. This isn't my thing. Why am I wasting any of my time and energy thinking about it? And when I'm thinking about somebody else's challenge or issue in a negative way, am I adding fuel to the fire? Am I adding negative energy out into the world that just doesn't need to be there? And I'm going to say, yes, I think I am. I personally believe and think that's why the news and the news media being so negative has had such a profoundly negative impact on all of us, on the world, right? And so I don't participate in the news anymore, because I know that when I'd watch the news, I would start to think about the things that they were talking about, and then that would lead to a negative thought process. And I'm thinking, if everybody is watching the news and they're all feeling the same way I am, think of the amount of negative energy we're spewing into the world. Who needs that? We don't need that, right? So in my little way, I just stopped watching the news, because I don't need to take on more people's problems, more people's negative thinking. I have enough trouble dealing with my own brain and my own thoughts and my own thinking, right? My own limiting beliefs, my own beliefs of that just don't make sense, or conflicting beliefs. And so I just wanted to share that today, that there's little strategies like that we can learn, decades ago, and we don't even remember that we know them, and all of a sudden at a time when we want to change something, we can just use them. Another one I like is by Mel Robbins, actually, and she does the 5 4 3 2 1. I think she's written a whole book on it, in order to get yourself to take action. As soon as you make a decision, 5 4 3 2 1, and then you just take action toward it. And that sounds very Tony Robbins-y to me as well, except for the 5 4 3 2 1 blast off, because that's her thing, her tweak and take on stuff, because we all have that, right? We take all of the experiences, all the lessons that we learn, all the information that we accumulate over our lifetime, and we either just ignore it and spit it out, or we just push it down in our subconscious memory banks, or we use it, we take it, we meld it, we take pieces of things that we hear and learn, and we create our own process, our own systems, our own way for getting through our lives. At least that's what I do. I guess I like to think that everybody else does that too, at least on a subconscious level. So we sift and sort, and we pick and choose what works for us. That's kind of like what this life adventure is all about. It's about experiencing it just as we, and only as we uniquely can. And as such, we're creating our lives as we go along. Talked about absence making the heart grow fonder today on Supersize Your Business and my Facebook Live, and it's why I'm thinking of conflicting beliefs. It's why I'm thinking of limiting beliefs. It's why I'm thinking of cancel, because this particular idiom actually brought up a whole lot of conflicting beliefs, conflicting values that exist and reside in me, apparently still, right? When I think of this, absence making the heart grow fonder, it leads me to thinking about lack and scarcity, and how we create lack and scarcity somewhat artificially, but we really don't have to create it artificially, because it already exists in people. All we have to do is get them to see it, and see that they can get out of lack and scarcity by whatever, usually through our products and services, but through whatever way they want. There's always infinite possibilities of how to not feel like we're in lack and scarcity, because we live in this incredibly abundant universe. And so that's why the whole, do I want to encourage more lack and scarcity? No, that's a false belief that I'm encouraging it. I'm not really encouraging it. I'm just pointing out what already exists in people and saying, hey, we already feel this way, but we don't have to feel this way if we do this, right? If we take action on something. I was thinking about this too. We as human beings tend to not appreciate things that we're given for free, right? Sometimes we do, sometimes we don't, but it's usually short-lived, and we don't mind wasting things that we're given for free, right? Have you ever given away a product or service or something that you owned and somebody didn't appreciate it? Say it could be something as simple as pajamas or a robe or a jacket or something, and then you see it thrown in a dumpster or something. I don't know. That's a weird example, but we give away something that we valued and people don't appreciate it. A lot of times we give away our heart and people don't receive it, right? They don't appreciate it. We love people that don't love us back. Have you ever had that happen to you? Have you ever loved somebody that didn't love you back? Have you ever crushed on somebody that didn't like you, that wasn't attracted to you? I think almost everyone on the planet has, unless the person that, the first person you fell in love with in that you met, they fell in love with you back. And how rare is that? Pretty darn rare, right? So the vast majority of us have already experienced this. But the things that we get for free, we tend to take for granted, right? Our gifts, our genius zone, the things that we're awesome at, how many of us overlook those all the time? How many of us think that we don't have any gifts or talents, that we're not special, we're just normal, we're just average, we're just a Joe Schmo or a simple Sharon? I mean, how many of us think that? Because we have these amazing gifts and talents and abilities that we just think everybody else does, right? We think everybody else can do everything and thinks the way we do, but it's absolutely not true. Everybody thinks differently. Everybody only thinks the way they do. I only think the way I do. You only think the way you do. But we think in our mind that everybody else is thinking similarly to us or believes similarly to us, even though we know that they don't. We just some weird level think that they do. So the whole absence makes the heart grow fonder obviously has me a little tweaked and discombobulated in my thinking, because it's having me reevaluate, okay, how do I really think and feel about some of these things? And are they just beliefs that are conflicting and butting heads that I need to say, hey, well, what makes sense? And what's another way that I could choose to look at this, like scarcity and lack? I'm not creating it by talking about it. I'm just pointing it out to people that are already experiencing it and telling them, hey, here's a solution to get out of that. And I think that's a much healthier, much better way of looking at it than thinking that I'm creating artificial lack and scarcity, because I would never want to do that. There truly is, with respect to certain things, rarity and scarcity, right? And absence. If I'm talking about sharing my time, my personal time with someone, that has a finite amount on it. I don't know how many years I'm going to live, but I do know that I, like everybody else, only have 24 hours in each day. So I need to set priorities and decide how I'm going to spend those hours, who I'm going to spend those hours with, what I'm going to spend those hours doing. And that means that there is a finite amount of time that I personally can interact with other people, right? Or be available to other people or whatever. So that is truly a limited amount of something. Now, I personally think we live in this incredibly abundant universe, and there's so much of everything, and there are so many different possible solutions that nothing is really unavailable to us. There are no resources. There is no limit to the resources, as long as we're willing to be resourceful, that we can tap into. Again, so that's kind of a conflicting internal belief system in me, right? So how do I go ahead and synthesize that so I make it work in my life? Well, I choose to look at situations and things differently. So absence makes the heart grow fonder. Obviously that one tripped me a little bit. Working on my next challenge, which is going to be a live challenge, and I'm working on the details of it because I'm still not sure how I'm going to pull that off. It's a 10-day challenge. about challenges, how to do and create your own challenge to bring the people that you want to you, or just to learn how to do a challenge for yourself. If you want to do a challenge for yourself to create a super duper fast result, this is how you set your challenge up to make sure that it works for you. And again, it's a little bit more bringing people along with you, because guess what? How do we get results even faster? Have accountability partners, have people that are doing it with us, because we're social animals, we're social beings. We like to do things with other people as well. We don't always want to make it a challenge, right? Sometimes we just need a little camaraderie, a little kick of motivation to know that we're not in it all by ourselves when we're trying to accomplish or get a certain result. So working on setting that up and trying to figure out, how am I going to do that? What times am I going to actually do that live when people are available to listen? I'll always have a 24-hour, I always have the replay available, but I want some people live with me because it adds energy and engagement. So how am I going to do that given a 4-year-old and dogs and the activity that's around me as I'm transitioning and moving, because I'm moving right now in my life, and selling my house. Figuring out the details of that. Day 21 of fun, the fun challenge, the 365-day fun challenge. Every day this year, I'm doing something fun. Now, this is a fun filter, right? I personally think it's fun. You might just think it's weird and nerdy, but to me, weird and nerdy is fun. Day 21, all about thinking about awesome people that you would like to know. Thinking about an awesome person you don't know, but you'd like to know. Maybe it's somebody in your community. Maybe it's somebody in the world or the industry that you admire, that you would love to know, that you don't know yet, but maybe you'd love to know. Write them down, share them in the comments below, because that puts out into the world that you want to meet and know that person, and that sets a whole course of events into motion that you never know. You never know how soon you might actually get to know that person. That's it. That's all I've got today. I hear a dog barking, so I'm going to go attend to her, and pretty soon my amazing 4-year-old granddaughter will be here, and I'm excited to see her every day. So if I can help you in any way, hit me up in the comments below. Otherwise, look for the challenge. Starts Monday. Oh my God, it starts Monday already, and I'm not ready, but I'm ready. I've done so many challenges, I'm ready. But as far as the details of this one go, I'm trying to create some branding and some energy around it, because I'd like to do it kind of Kelly Roach style 8 times this year, or I don't know if 8, but maybe 8, probably 8 times this year. Live launch to bring people into my world and into my program. It's just a different way of, getting the word out, getting the message out, sharing with people what I do and how I can help them to create what it is that they want in their life. Because it's not about what I want, it's about what do you want in your life. Have an amazing day, and I will be with you tomorrow. Bye.